We obviously will be meeting as the agriculture team with the GACC tomorrow to discuss a variety of areas, particularly stone fruit. GACC were out in South Africa in November last year, and we're hoping to be in the final stages of concluding a protocol on stone fruit going forward. We've also met with great excitement the recent announcements around tariffs, and obviously once those have been dealt with domestically, we look to take advantage of the very generous hand of friendship that has been extended. South Africa offers China well-priced, excellent quality agricultural goods, and we see this as mutually beneficial in order to help us grow our economy, to create jobs, and to move our country forward. But at the same time, we see it as advantageous for China, and particularly Chinese consumers, who have access to these world-class, excellent agricultural goods. And so we look forward to strengthening and deepening our very good relationship with China. We reiterate our complete support for the One China policy, and we obviously want to make sure that we continue to enhance good relations between our two countries. Thank you very much, Deputy President.
The Department of Water and Sanitation is responsible for the water resource in the country. We abstract water from the river to the dam, to the water treatment plant, to the reservoir, up to the tap. We have been working very well with some companies from here in China. We are busy with abstracting water from the Lesotho mountain, Lesotho, which is one of our neighboring country. We are on phase 2 of that. However, due to inclement weather, we are unable to finish on time. So our engagement with some construction and engineering companies here is to say how do we then turn around time and catch up with the time lost for us to be able to finish the project on time. We have 15 dams that are in construction, but it takes us 5 to 7 years in the country to complete such projects. So wanted to have an exchange program to see how can we have a shortened turnaround time, which might be between 2 and 3 years for us to complete the dam. And lastly, in terms of the engineers, we are running short of young and energetic engineers, so we want to have an exchange program with the engineering companies here to see how can we work together. So we're looking forward in working together with most of the companies here. Thank you very much.
Just to start by acknowledging some of the key investors that we have in South Africa that are from China, certainly not limited to those, but I think to highlight some of the key ones. In the area of white manufacturing products, we've got Hisense that has invested in South Africa. Excuse me, the air conditioner is now messing me up, yeah. So we've got Hisense that has established a manufacturing facility in South Africa and is exporting from South Africa into key markets, including the UK, some of the products that they are manufacturing in South Africa. We've got Sino Steel that has invested across the steel value chain, including in chrome, ferrochrome. They own, amongst others, or have invested, have invested significantly in Samanco, one of the major ferrochrome companies in the country. We've got Bayek that has established currently semi-knockdown of vehicles in South Africa with the intention of increasing that to manufacturing directly in South Africa. And of course, appetite from a whole range of other automotive companies in China that have seen South Africa as a springboard for growth of the automotive sector into the African continent. And then on the South African side, we've also got key investments that are in China, amongst others, Standard Bank, one of the leading banks on the African continent, actually, because it is the most established bank in Africa in terms of capital investments. We've got Sasol that is involved in petrochemicals, chemicals, and explosives, and that sort of industry that they are involved with. And then we've got Aspen in the pharmaceutical sector that are also invested in the Chinese market. In terms of focus going forward, we are here to engage industry in areas where we think there are opportunities for collaboration, and this includes in areas such as mining and the beneficiation of minerals, critical minerals in particular, including rare earth metals that we have in South Africa, and the opportunity to ensure that we create a manufacturing base for some of the new industries, including the green economy and the digital economy. Certainly in steel, we're looking at expanding our steel base, the automotive sector, as I've indicated earlier, and also in terms of energy, including green hydrogen, which is a key focus area in the country, power generation across the spectrum in terms of the energy mix, including solar, wind energy, and power stations. And of course, across the battery value chain, including battery electric vehicles, battery storage facilities, and of course in the digital economy. So these are the areas that we're here to engage with Chinese companies on. Thank you.
On international relations issues, we need to reaffirm our commitment towards our foreign policy as a country, that we are still committed to one China policy as South Africa, and we are looking forward to our continued bilateral relationship with the People's Republic of China, of course utilizing diplomatic channels to continue to strengthen our bilateral relationship at a political level and also at an economic level, but also to indicate to yourselves that the thrust of our foreign policy has always been centered on the following principle: the principle of Pan-Africanism, the principle of anti-imperialism, and the respect for human rights issues, and also the respect for the rule of law. We are also aligned with the non-alignment movements that we are subscribing to as a country of South Africa. Hence, you continue to see us intervening on matters of security and peace in the continent of Africa. We have done it in Mozambique through our mediation efforts, where we have brought about peace and security through several mediation efforts that we have done. We have also done it recently in DRC through our contribution of our troops. We are doing it now in South Sudan, and we will continue to do it anywhere in the world where matters of peace and security are a concern to us as a country. We want to also indicate that through our G20 presidency, we'll make it a point that we advance issues that are of interest to the countries of the Global South, especially on matters of climate change, issues of debt management, and all those other issues that are have been highlighted. And we want to indicate that the theme for our G20 presidency is solidarity, equality, and sustainability, and it's in line with the UN Charter in terms of the Sustainable Development Goals. So we are then looking forward to welcoming President Xi back in South Africa through our Leaders Summit of the G20, which will happen in November this year. Thank you very much.
My responsibility is to ensure that MSMEs, they get to benefit from it. But for them to benefit, the first thing is to provide them with opportunities on skills development, because they need assistance. The second aspect is access to finance for small businesses. The third aspect is a program that we are running with the Chinese companies and government, which is called the South African Youth Business Exchange Program, which targets small enterprises in the manufacturing space, as they may be able to be taught how to manufacture some components for purposes of maintenance and servicing the automotive industry that the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition spoke about. The last aspect I would like to talk to is that as South Africa is hosting the G20 this year, we also hosting the Startup 20 conference, which is going to take place on the 21st to the 22nd of July, wherein we're gathering a group of startups throughout the world, more so from the G20 countries, to discuss the policy proposals and trade challenges that are faced by small enterprises when they have to engage in programs like this one that we're here, or when they have to export certain things. We're also hosting on the 23rd to the 24th the Global SMME Conference, which is the first of its kind to bring 80 ministers to South Africa discussing all small enterprises issues. It has never happened. It's the first of its kind, and we are partnering with the ITC on that. Therefore, we would like to see also the participation of the small enterprises to go and exhibit on the startup conference, whilst we're also looking forward to the participation of the Chinese government into the Global SMME Conference. I thank you.
The growth of tourists between South Africa and China. Yesterday, I had a meeting with my counterpart, His Excellency's son, and we dealt with two key issues. The one is that from South African side, together with the Department of Home Affairs, we have introduced a new visa system to make it easier for Chinese visitors to come to our country. We introduced it in February of this year, and it's called the Trusted Tour Operator Scheme, meaning that people who want to travel to South Africa, you don't need to go to our embassies or our consulates. You can apply for your visa via a tour operator. We have so far accredited 19 Chinese tour operators, and they apply on your behalf if it's a group of 2 or 5 or even 100. And the Department of Home Affairs has put up a dedicated account manager to handle with visa issues from China. So we've seen a growth between February and June this year, more than 18,000 applications that we've received through the Trusted Tour Operator Scheme. Tomorrow here at the same hotel, I will be meeting 150 tour operators and trade companies. And again, we are looking at what more can we do as South Africa to improve and make it more easy for Chinese visitors to come to our country. So we've dealt with the visa issue, and we are recruiting more tour operators to join the scheme so that it makes it easier for any Chinese traveler. We also have got to look at increasing the flights between South Africa and China. Already, Air China, they have a daily flight now between Beijing and Ouagadougou. And South African Airlines, our own airline, they will be reintroducing the flight between Beijing and Johannesburg in October of 2025. They are waiting for the delivery of new aircrafts. There is a shortage and a delay from Boeing, but by October 2025, we will bring back the South African Airways flight between Beijing and Johannesburg. So those are the issues that we've dealt with. Tomorrow, we will also be launching what we call a Ni Hao South Africa campaign. And what we intend doing is that we want to target digital marketing in China. So we are going to look at, WeChat, the Red Book, all of those digital platforms in China we're going to activate to inform the Chinese traveler about the visa system, how they can apply, where they can apply. And we hope that we can triple the visitors from China to South Africa. Last year we received, in 2024, we received 41,000 visitors from China. And we really want to triple that. We're also looking at one of the problems that we pick up is that when Chinese travelers come to South Africa and then have to go to the airport for a VAT, the VAT refund, we're wanting to digitize that VAT refund. It will be in Mandarin. And together with the Chinese government, they have assisted us to train over 200 South African tour guides in Mandarin. So that is all what we are trying to do to bring and make it more easier for Chinese to visit South Africa. Later in this year, around about September, we will be doing another roadshow in China, and we're targeting Shanghai and Guangzhou, where South African companies will come to China, they will travel around, they will meet new tour operators, and that is all with the intention to grow tourism between China and South Africa. But on the visa, if you want any further information about the visas, I can explain that to you later on. But in September of this year, South Africa will be introducing an electronic travel authorization. And that's going to be applicable for the whole world, where you can, from the comfort of your home, wherever you are, apply for an online visa. The turnaround time will be less than 72 hours. And the new system that Home Affairs will be introducing is going to also use AI to help us with the verification of travelers to South Africa. And as you know, China is the leading country on AI, and certainly we are also here to learn from that.